Good readings, folks. It is Wednesday, the 10th of September, and how's this for a change? A white t-shirt. Just received this from Bill. Bill. Thank you, Bill. I very seldom wear white. So, the Genesis from the Trick of the Tail era, I think. I love it. Thank you. Cheers. So, something's going on with my yard, and I don't know what it is. I thought it was just the cats digging up spots to use the bathroom, but the yard is soft all of a sudden in a lot of places, and I noticed the cats, it's like there's something in the ground that they're digging up. It's a little freaky. I hesitate to investigate further, but I need to. I opened the door this morning, and one of the black cats is sleeping out there. But I also noticed that it had been poking the ground. Yesterday, one of the gray ones got a mouse, so I was happy about that, but still unhappy to see a mouse at all. I hadn't seen any mice for a long time. But hopefully the cats are taking care of that, because mice, ugh. But I don't know what it is. Today, I intend to, I'm a little, it's like something's happening underneath my yard. I have to go dig up and see what it is. It doesn't seem to be happening to any of the other yards. That's why it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Cheers. Why has it always got to be some kind of controversy, some kind of mess? There's always something. It seems like you just can't have peace. I'm doing good to live here, to keep the house above my head. So if there's some kind of major weirdness with my yard, I don't know what to think. So I have to get out there and root around and see what's going on. Something's going on with the yard, and it's strange. So a few things to share this morning. This is the first time this has happened to me with any of my product. Okay, it's happened to me where I've bought things and they ended up being misprints. That what it said it was it isn't what was on the record. But this happened with a customer who, interestingly, I won't say their name, but from the beginning of the person ordering me, there was a problem. And what's strange is, again, I had a premonition that this order was going to be problematic, and it was. I don't know why I thought that, but this particular order, I just knew it, and there were problems, and I had to resend, if I'm not mistaken, at least twice. And so when I got a message about a week ago from this person saying, well, can you send me another digital sex CD? It's not what it says it is. And my initial response was, I've already sent you. I'm done. I know. And then they said, well, I'm just going to send it back to you because I don't need a disc that says it's digital sex, but it's Mexican music. And it arrived yesterday. And sure enough, this is the Digital Sex 1994 remaster. It's a misprint. It's not digital sex. It's Mexican music. So I wrote the person back and apologized. Oh, shit. I said, this is bizarre. I'm sorry. I will replace this at a loss. Big deal. But I'm assuming that likely what happened is this came at the end of the run of the machine, and it's the next product was up and they didn't get it switched out. So this is an anomaly. It's not digital sex. I wrote dud on it to know. I'm going to keep it. Just like it's never happened to me before. But like I said, once I received it back from this person, it was like, shit, they weren't bullshitting. This is a misprint. So I opened up digital sets because they're sealed. I have the very last bunch of the discs. Randy Lamasters, who's not doing well physically right now, I hope he gets better, up in Pittsburgh, he had it manufactured for his record label, Randy's Alternative Music. I think he did a run of 500. I have the last box of 25 left out of all 500. I have the last. Right quick. So I'm going to play some more of my music at the end of the video because people are buying it. They're hearing it and they're buying it. I'm down to the last 8 copies of Aspects of the Imagine on CDR. And these are collector's items, people. These are it's wonderful music and it's wonderful art. It's my art. I have a total of 8 copies left, and it's about to sell out. And get one while you can, is what I'm saying. Okay? Peace. Yeah, I have to find out what's going on with my yard. At first I thought it had something to do with the people laying cable. But I don't know. I have to find out. It's always something though, isn't it, people? Always something to be dealt with. So, yesterday I shared with you that I was thinking about going to the market, and I went ahead. I thought about it. And I said, rather than obsess about this, because I started to think about it again and again, I said, get up off your ass and go down there and look and see what's in the used section. Because they had 2 records. Interestingly, the one I thought for sure would be there that I'd get wasn't there, but it wasn't the one that I really wanted of the 2. The one that I really wanted was still there. It's a reissue, but it was there. So I grabbed it very happily because it's an old album, but it's it's not just a collector's item for me. It's like, this is actually good to listen to, and it's been something I've known about forever. Now I finally was able to get a copy. Scottish, I believe. Writing on the Wall, The Power of the Picts. This is, I'm going to go to Discogs and right quick and just refresh my memory here. I think this is their only album from back in the day, and then it's been reissued, and some other stuff has come out, collections of radio stuff. Come on, computer. But when I saw this, I recognized that picture, that graphic. It said, that's a record that is one of those old records I've been looking for. The Power of the Picts is the name of the album. And this came out originally in, come on. Sorry, folks. Interestingly enough, the originals of this go for $100 to $300, but on this reissue, which I got at a very reasonable price, there's only 1 copy available on Discogs, going for $65 used, and it's a reissue. Here we go. Progressive rock band from Edinburgh, Scotland, from 1967 to 1973, originally formed as The Jury. Excuse me. So this album is prog, but to me, this goes back to when, before we started calling things in metal and stuff, this was just a hard rock album, a good one. Guitars and organ, Um, some of the lyrics and some of the they do some, like, is it glossolalia when you just make up a language or something? This is really good and it rocks. It starts off rocking, but it has a lot of different shades of expression. Um, Frankly, when I try to think of a band that to compare them to, Steppenwolf comes to mind. I like Steppenwolf musically, not John Kay's voice. That's a beast of its own. But I was glad that that was there. While I was there, I got two more used records, and I decided to. I thought to myself, they have a new album. It is possible that Homer's has carried it, maybe one copy. So I went to the news section, new metal section, and looked it up, and thankfully they do. They had Imperial Triumphant's latest album, Imperial Triumphant's Gold Star, 9 Class A tunes. These guys are badass. From New York, got the limited edition, white vinyl. It's like a total art project. I mean, everything about the band. If you check out their videos, they work with they do a lot of the work themselves, and it looks like they have a dedicated crew of artists that they work with on this stuff. It's really good. Now, for me, this is labeled as avant-garde metal, black metal. But to me, this is real prog. This is an example of real progressive rock music, modern day, as opposed to someone who is, as opposed to say like Dream Theater, for my taste. Like, Dream Theater can play, but I think their musical ideas are kind of crap comparatively. This is really, I've listened to the whole album all the way through, and it'll get played more because I don't completely understand what they're doing, and that intrigues me. But I also like the sound of it. Literally, I do, and they can play. They're good musicians. Um, they can play jazz. They can play anything. You can hear that, and they do that. They go all of a sudden. There's this um, Latin percussion break, that they're playing, and then another part where it sounds like a commercial from the '60s. This is wild. This is wonderful. And I can see, I heard from Rebecca where she tried it and she said, oh, it's too much for me. And that's exactly the effect that they want. They want it, they're pushing boundaries, they're pushing themselves. The last song on this album is an original, but what it is a variation on the Beatles' I Want You, She's So Heavy. The final riff that they just, Industry of Misery is the name of the song. They end up doing this grinding, repeating like I Want You. And it's a similar riff, but they take it and they change it just enough to make it original. This definitely goes on my album of the year list. Mickey Berenyi Trio is still my album of the year, but this goes on the list. For people who say they're interested in prog or metal or just interested in hearing something challenging and fresh, Imperial Triumphant. And Ron Anderson, who I haven't talked to, but is a long distance musical associate, is friends of theirs. That's how I first heard about them. He knows these guys. Probably jams with them. Cheers. So there was two other There were two other used albums. This one had been down there for a while, and so I said, "Go ahead and get it. Ain't nobody else gonna get this album." And you do like this artist. It's a little dinged from being in the used section, being flipped over so many times, but it's still pretty much brand new from last year. Laurie Anderson, Amelia, about Amelia Earhart. Now, I love Laurie Anderson, and I got turned on to her before Old Superman through my friend Wes Van Ness, who turned me on to The Residents and a whole bunch of other really obscure stuff that I really like. So I was intrigued by her, what she was doing. First thing I heard by her, I think, was something that she did with a phone machine or something, phone messages. And I think it was an album that had other artists on it, like Laurie Spiegel. Anyway, Laurie Anderson's approach to her art captivated me early on, and I love her voice. I've met her, and I've seen her perform 3 times. And when I met her, she was so sweet. I was never able to get a copy of the picture. There's a picture of me giving her a copy of the Digital Sex 45 up in Minneapolis. I could never get a copy of the picture. The person who took it has passed away. Anyway, this is wonderful. It's almost like a travelogue, day 1 through June. Well, it just goes through, starting with dates, June 3rd through July 2nd. And this is really a good listen. She sings as well as speaks. The musical arrangement is wonderful. She has a string, a quartet, Philharmonia Brno. It's a large string section. Plus other musicians like Anoni on vocals, Mark Rebo, I don't know how you say his name. My friend Joe Budenholzer, who is hopefully going to recover from cancer, has performed with Anani. He's called Backworld. He's currently doing a fundraiser for surgeries for his cancer. We go way back, and I hope he survives. But Joe Budenholzer, Backworld. Disco Ranch is where I started with Joe. That Laurie Anderson is really good. It captivated me. Took me on a journey. I just got swept away into the story and the settings of the music. Laurie Anderson is special. And then I was real happy to find this at Homer's. This is more like what I find at Grapefruit. But someone has been selling their good stuff, and Homer's bought it. So I was able to get this in the used section. Oren Ambarchi, Sagittarian Domain. This is a reissue of a 2012 album. Mr. Ambarchi, I don't completely collect because he does so many things. I first heard about him through his guitar playing, but he does all kinds of stuff with all kinds of people. And this is really good. He plays guitars, moog bass, drums, percussion, and he has 3 other musicians on here on viola, violin, and cello. This is, I'm on the point of saying it's killer, but I've only played one side of it. But the one side I played of it, which was recorded in 2012, it has that essence like Can and Faust, where it moves, but it moves in time like it's happening in real time right now. And it's got a pulse. I almost want to say groove. It's not a groove, It's got a real good pulse once it starts to kick in. Really good. So it's real happy to make those additions to the collections. Cheers, people. And then I did play this. That's the only other thing I played yesterday. Jacques Corsil, Black Sweet. Wow, this is good. Anthony Braxton stands out on this. But everything about this is good. Corsil plays well, too. Who wrote... Let's see if it tells me who wrote these. It's the Black Sweet, written by Jacques Corsil. And it's good. It is good. It's not just free blowing. You can tell it's composed. It's really good. So let me try to pull up something to share with you off of another CD, because that's very pleasing, you know, to play the music and then people respond. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, it is good, okay? So, which one track is this? I give things working titles, and so they don't always stick in my mind, the titles. So I'm pulling up Server. Let's see what this is. I think this is kind of an upbeat thing that I have on here. Yes, I like this. Now this might not come through well as far as understanding what I'm doing. It's on this album, Here. This is one I really personally enjoy a lot. It's like an energy drink for me when I make stuff like this. And my music is instrumental on purpose. Really enjoy this. That's why I say, you know, it's like I'm not working for a genre, it's my life. So, the saving grace of this is that I make the music for me first, so I like it. And I always do this to make sure that I like it enough to like it to keep liking it. And I always imagine myself actually playing all the instruments because I could. And there's my statement. I'm happy. Yeah, baby. See, I love it. Okay, so what else do I have on here? Here's one. Let's try this one. Same CD. Here. This is the Here. I try different things on here. This has like an African lope where I'm working with in that loping type of rhythm. And then there's mellow stuff on here. All the CDs are unique. Thank you for the t-shirt, Bill. I love Genesis. So folks, pick up on this music. I'm happy to say that once again yesterday, after I made the video, I got another sale. That's why I thought I'd go ahead and mention this. It's like, this is about gone. 8 copies of that left. Good to hear from you, Stephanie. I didn't think to mention the fact that in my subconscious yesterday, I knew that September 9th was a date. It's our mother's birthday. She's been gone since the 80s. But probably like some folks who love their parents, I think about my parents daily, not all the time, but they're in my subconscious. They're a part of my life. And so I'm thinking about my mom all the time and my dad. And they loved us deeply. And that's the main thing to share. They loved us. Folks, talk to me. Oh, well, let me just take a real quick look. Because I appreciate the feedback that I'm getting from you folks. I do have to go to the post office today for that sale, as well as sending off the replacement CD. But George says, dude, wow, I went to my porch this evening and bam, the record I bought from you is here. That is stupid quick. You got everyone beat in delivery. Thank you, thank you. I'm excited to listen. Well, when I can, folks, I don't subscribe to the typical business model, which they say the customer comes first. That's bullshit. Customer comes last, and you all know it. We get treated like shit. But to me, it's like my whole focus is not making the money, but doing a good job of whatever it is I'm doing. So I try to mail the stuff out right away. And then someone as giving a little bit more. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. He gets frustrated trying to find right music that connects because I'm deaf and hard of hearing. So I'm glad that the music that I show you connects. Thank you, folks, for the purchases. Thank you. Thank you very much, people. Thank you for your love and friendship. I'm going to sign off here, okay? Keep buying that music. It makes a difference, and it's good.